Welcome back to Plague Scythe Studios, everyone. Today we're going to be checking out another awesome percussion VST plugin by It Might Get Loud Productions called Riot Drums. Some of you might remember quite a few months ago we checked out another VST plugin by It Might Get Loud called Jinthuga, and it is called Jinthuga, not Jintsuga. I just can't read, and I quite like that plugin. So when Ron from It Might Get Loud contacted me a couple days ago to ask me if I'd like to check this one out, I definitely was interested, and that's what you're seeing today. So just like last time, I did receive this product free of charge as a review copy, and it is also in a pre-release state from what you're hearing, so some things may be subject to change. So with that out of the way, the Riot Drums VST is a 90s hardcore inspired drum library that was sampled with the utmost love and care. I'll be the first to admit that I'm not the biggest hardcore or metalcore fan, or anything ending in core for that matter, which is why the demo that you heard does not sound like hardcore metalcore whatsoever. Just a lot of blast beats and closer to Metallica meets Cannibal Corpse, if anything. But I do appreciate the tones, especially in the guitar realm, that a lot of those early hardcore bands brought to the table. Whether it be crunchy Marshall valve states or boosted dual rectifiers, I really liked that evolutionary step between thrash metal and some of the more industrial modern stuff we hear today. And I can say the same thing about the drums. And this drum library definitely captures the essence of those early 90s albums and EPs. Unlike the Jinthuga plugin, which only included shells, this library includes both shells and cymbals for a complete set experience. Like last time, It Might Get Loud recorded all of these samples by hand, except this time with virtually no post-processing and even more tone control at your fingertips. Not only can you tweak the mix between each individual drum and cymbal, but you actually have up to 5 individual microphones on each channel. So for the bass drum and snare, for instance, you have a close front microphone, a close rear microphone, a room close, a room far, and a overhead microphone. Because all the other channels include all those microphones sans the close rear mic, you can dial in a very tight and succinct kick drum and snare drum sound while maintaining a bombastic room-filling tom sound, if that's what you would like. Being able to solo and mute each channel within the plugin itself makes mixing between those microphones an absolute breeze, and it certainly doesn't hurt that they include their own Audition feature, which you can use as the full drum set or between the cymbals and the shells. I think my favorite standout feature on this VST is without a doubt the routing options you have. So with Jinthuga, you were a little bit limited with how you could select each individual channel. You kind of had to mess around with Cubase a little bit to get it to work nicely. And the drum maps was pretty much the same as you would encounter with any other VST. In the GUI of Riot Drums, however, you can actually change the routing to either 1 stereo out, 6 stereo outs, or up to 16 stereo outs, depending on your application. So for this video, I just did 1 because it was just, coming up with a simple riff. But if you're working on something a bit more polished, you can always split off the channels into different groupings. That way you can apply different effects to different types of drums and cymbals. Another great feature is the ability to reassign each individual note to a different key on your MIDI keyboard, which is really cool, not having to dig out through Cubase settings to achieve the same thing. All those little features across 2 easy to use screens add up to a product that I think feels more professional and yet easier to use than a lot of other plugins out on the market that cost the same or more. And that's really valuable for someone like me, who's primarily a guitarist that just wants to get some ideas down on paper quickly. all those features add up to justify a nearly €80 price tag, or a little over $90 American. If you're looking for something that is absolutely authentic, we're talking squeaks in the backgrounds of the kick drums, which is, I find, really charming. I think that's really cool. For the amount of effort and compassion put into this little project, and if you're looking for an authentic hardcore drum sound, I would say yes. We're talking around the same amount of money as a lot of expansion packs that come out for other VST plugins, and to me this one's easier to use and it's more charming. So I give a lot of points for being able to make something with such a small team. May not fall 100% in my wheelhouse of music that I would normally play, but it does a really good job with 80s thrash metal and 70s hard rock, so I'll probably end up using it for something else at some point. But gets another couple thumbs up for me. My next wish for It Might Get Loud would be to reapply a lot of the things that were in this on hopefully even past stuff, but especially future stuff. If I could see that sort of channel mixing and GUI improvements onto stuff like Gent Thugga, I would be a very happy boy. So good job again. I would recommend this product if you are looking for this particular niche type of sound, and that's what it is. But I very much enjoy the niche and particular types of products that these guys have been cranking out. So again, 2 thumbs up for me. Thanks for watching. We will see you next time. Bye.